Despite this huge pump that Bitcoin has seen right after the Russia-Ukraine tensions, and the fact that Bitcoin has been able to keep these gains, I think that we could be looking at a massive trap in this market, right? And you know what I like to see, first of all, is that the fear and greed index hasn't actually shot up, okay? Like yesterday we were at 27, but to be fair, I mean, we fell to a low on the 24th, which was the day of the big dump of 23, went up to 27, now down to 26. I mean, we're not moving by that much. People are very, very scared right now. And I think that Bitcoin's still in quite a dangerous place, because one of the key things I want to remind you about before we get in much deeper into this video is just how important this level is right here. You know, I think a lot of people, and the market's going to do this, right? Because here's the thing is we've been below this area or trading around this area, even including this, for now over a month, right? We've been at around or below this level for over a month now. So people are going to forget how significant this stuff is, especially as frustration starts setting in. I think that's a really important and underrated aspect of the market that people don't consider. And that's why I need to remind you guys of this. You see, this $40,000 to $42,000 range right here with this green box is so dangerous for Bitcoin, and has been historically, in my opinion, because every time we've hit this area pretty much, we have seen a rejection before moving up. See, the first time we hit this level, we got a big rejection that took us much lower. Let's do this on a different chart where I don't have anything else drawn. Let me just extend this box backwards so you can see it clearly. And I should actually move it down because this box is not drawn in the correct place. Bam, right around over here, starting at 40,000. This box ends at 43, but it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. Big reversal triggered from here. This was a 20 to 30% drop. Let me just calculate this. This was a 30% drop. And then the next time we come up to this level, again, we're on the daily time frame, but look, we hit this area as resistance, come down, and it's only on the next attempt that we break it. Then, when we fall down here again in May, we attack this area from the downside moving up, we get rejected. We attack it again, we get rejected. Attack it again, rejected, again, rejected, again, rejected, and again rejected until we have 2 quick attempts within the space of about 1 week or just over, and then we finally managed to break it. You know, I think that Bitcoin being able to break the resistance here was very much an exception, and now that we're facing the same resistance again, I've got to be cautious here. You know, when Bitcoin was down at the lows over here, I was talking about where support might be if it drops lower, but also reminding you guys that we have support. It fell down to the exact bottom of the support area that we were expecting on this YouTube channel. So those of you who were subscribed, who were throwing likes on these videos to show the algorithm that you appreciate them, thank you all so much. For those of you who are, will know very well where I'm trying to be a little bit more bullish, and quite importantly where I'm trying to be more bearish. And here's the thing, you know, one of the key points I was making while Bitcoin was rallying up over here, and I was urging everybody to be cautious, even though it looks good, to be cautious. One of the key points I was making is that despite the fact that Bitcoin from its low to its high managed to rally up by 40%, which is phenomenal, a beautiful gain, it's not actually that impressive when you consider how much value Bitcoin has lost. When you consider how much Bitcoin actually needs to rise in order to break its previous real all-time high at $69,000, it needs to climb up by 109%. So rallying up by 40%, it's a good start, right? I mean, it's about a third of the way there. It's a good start, but really it's not enough. It's not enough to be moving up by just 40%. And also when you consider how aggressive the downtrend was, you know, it made sense that we had an explosive reaction back up. I was saying all of this on the YouTube channel. For those of you who are watching, you'll know very well that this is one of the key points I kept on raising on this YouTube channel. That's why I think we broke this resistance level for the first time ever without really struggling at it. But I'm not seeing us getting that lucky again for a second time. You know, we're tackling this area again. There is a lot of resistance piling on in this range. If we look at the daily Ichimoku cloud, look at this. Just a little bit later on, maybe about a week from now, if we manage to rise up by just $1,000, just $1,000, if we manage to move up by $1,000 within a week from now, we're going to hit a massive Ichimoku cloud of resistance on the daily time frame. Now, if you don't know what this indicator is, then type this into the YouTube search bar right now. I've made a full tutorial on how to get this indicator and how to use it, and I've actually updated it. So the new version was uploaded only like a month ago. Check it out. It's part of the 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗦 course, but you're getting it free. So if you want my paid stuff, but you want a taster of it, then this is a beautiful way to get it. Pause the video now, watch this, and come right back. Of course, if you're interested in a full suite of products that we offer, which have completely transformed so many traders inside of this market, then the steps are on screen right here. First link in the description down below. Take you to our free Telegram channel where you get even more analysis from myself and my team around the clock. And then click on the @4size button at the bottom of any post inside of 4size Gold and then send message. This will take you into a direct chat with me where you can ask me questions, get all the information about VIP and our courses and so on. And then we'll enroll you as well. If I'm not responding to your messages, one of my assistants will, so we're around the clock. But heavy resistance here on the daily time frame on the Ichimoku cloud. And it's not just this, it's the daily EMA ribbon. A lot of resistance that we've just hit today, and gotten rejected from. I think we've also got, no, on the 4 hour, we don't have resistance anymore. We've actually got support showing us that in that kind of short-term trend, we could be looking at having a little bit of support bolstering us higher. We also have some really nice support on the 1 hour time frame, which I think has been helping Bitcoin rise higher, only up into the resistance range, though. I've got to make that clear. I can't be too optimistic about this. Hourly time frame Ichimoku cloud is bullish, but 4 hour is bearish, and we haven't even hit it yet. If we manage to rise just a little bit higher or trade sideways, our time could be up. You know, one of the reasons that I really like this indicator is that one of the things it can show you is where the windows of opportunities are for the bulls or the bears, right? And this is to say that, look, the bulls managed to take the price up here fairly quickly, fairly nicely. I mean, this was a nice pump from 34,400 up to a high of 40,000. That is a good pump. That's a $6,000 pump, but the bulls have to be quick about it if they want to continue rising up, because otherwise we're going to have a chance where essentially what's happened here, right, is I believe what's happened here, and in all other markets like the S&P 500 index as well, huge move up right here, huge rebound. I feel like this has shocked the market a little bit, and if these markets don't manage to take advantage of that quickly, they might lose their chance, because the overwhelming bias right now is bearish, right? When we look at this kind of short midterm trend for the S&P 500 since the beginning of this year, at the beginning of January, the S&P 500 has been in a fairly significant downtrend. It's lost already 15%, 14% down to its low, and maybe about 10% down to its current price or value, whatever, I don't know what you call it here. It's already dropped by a fair amount. This is a big deal for such a big index because it represents some of the top companies in the whole United States. And it's fluid, by the way. If one company falls out of the top 500, another one takes its place. So it always represents the best of the best in the United States. So if this is dropping, you're in a bad place. And I think that because it got a nice quick pump on the last day of its trading, and Bitcoin is right now still entertaining that nice big pump, it has shocked the market a little bit. But because there is still that ongoing tension in Russia and Ukraine. And by the way, I don't want to talk politics on this YouTube channel because it's not even what I do, but it's important to touch on in this video, because I think that if these tensions do continue and they escalate, and if NATO were to get involved, for example, I'm not going to get too technical about this, but what I'm saying is that if things do escalate and more people get involved, more blood is spilled and so on, that would probably be pretty bad for the markets, and that would, that can come in fairly quickly. It's hard to say with politics, obviously, because everyone in their fucking nan is lying. So it's really hard to discern what the truth is and what. It's quite easy to say the lies. You just close your eyes and pick anything. You'd probably be right if you think it's a lie. But the point is that there's a lot of uncertainty here, and I guess that's precisely the point. Is that when you've got that level of uncertainty, you've got three key things that really tend to weigh down on markets. Number one is fear. Number two is uncertainty. Number three is doubt. FUD. When these things are weighing on the market and the default move is already downwards, I can't be too optimistic about the trend. Because again, we have a confluence here where multiple different indicators on multiple different time frames are offering resistance. The Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour time frame, the daily Ichimoku cloud, the daily EMA ribbon, these are all offering resistance to the market, and it lines up perfectly with the existing $40,000 to $42,000 area, which has acted as resistance every single time in Bitcoin's history, apart from this one fringe occasion, which we've already outlined why this was probably an exception, because the downtrend was so aggressive. Right, this actually reset the downtrend, in my opinion. There's nothing better you can do to reset a downtrend than pump up by fucking 40%. That is a massive, massive move to be moving up by, and it does effectively reset the market very well, in my opinion, which is why I think if we have reset, we must now expect that resistance areas provide resistance. Again, with that uncertainty, like unless the war ends tomorrow or over these next few days, I don't see Bitcoin being able to keep these gains. Now, I'm not saying that we're going down to 0 or that we're going down to 30k or 20k or anything like that. I think it's very likely that we revisit 30k or at least the lows over here. But, you know, the good news that I outlined in my previous video, actually my previous live stream, so shout out to those of you who tuned into that. You probably would have gotten the notification if you ticked the bell on this YouTube channel, or you definitely will have gotten it if you're inside of our free 𝗬𝗪𝗡 Gold channel, where again, we give you even more analysis and updates around the clock. It's all with the first link in the description down below, and it's free. So check it out. If you like this content, you're going to love this. There's even more advanced stuff going on right here, and hopefully you've not been missing it all this time. The channel is pretty big, by the way. This YouTube channel, I don't know, it's like 127k subscribers. Thank you all so much. I've got the plaque, by the way, the 100k plaque. I'll show it to you on Instagram. Make sure you follow me with the link in the description down below. This 𝗬𝗪𝗡 Gold Telegram channel with this link right here on screen, 22,000 people. So make sure you're one of them. Only not even a fifth of you are in there, so a lot of you are missing out on the amazing stuff that's going on in there. Definitely don't miss it. So here's the thing, yes, is I'm seeing a little bit of resistance here, but the good news is, like I said, because we had a really nice reaction, I'm a little bit more optimistic about what might happen to Bitcoin if it tumbles back down. You see, because here's the thing, right? If we take a look at Bitcoin right here and how nicely it's pumped up from these areas, it shows us that over here and over here, which is basically the same two price areas, bulls are ready to step in pretty quickly. And again, this is important for two reasons. You know, what the bears are going to be thinking, I would assume, is that as the price drops down here, they probably expect that people are going to try and sell, are going to try and buy Bitcoin back up, because the past two times it's been proven very clearly that people are willing to buy Bitcoin down here with a lot of volume. So I would imagine that bears ease off on their selling as they approach that support area. And because this area has been defended, I would imagine that bulls step in with a little bit more vigor, you know, as is exactly what happened this time. Even if we end up dipping lower down to the low 30k range, it's all the same to me. That mid to low 30k area, same thing to me as far as I'm concerned. It's only, what, like a 10-15% range? In the broader picture, it's not that big of a deal. I would expect that we are going to see some really nice buyer support stepping in, where bulls are going to be willing to jump in because they know supply is going to be exhausted, because they know at the very least we could be looking at a nice swing up, or at best we could be looking at a huge market reversal. And this is actually one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about on this YouTube channel today, because Bitcoin is potentially in a very, very large pattern on the daily time frame right here. Let me just make sure I show it to you correctly. Bear with me. I'm going to pull it up on this chart. Or am I going to do it on this chart? I'm going to do it on this chart instead. We're going to move it on to the daily. We're already on the daily. And I just want to show you a symmetrical triangle that's developed on the daily time frame. Now, it's not a good symmetrical triangle. I don't like it too much. It's actually a pretty poor one, but it's something, and it's not even symmetrical, is it? It's not very symmetrical. It's something, and no, all triangles are symmetrical actually, aren't they? Yeah, you can always draw a line directly down the middle. Yeah, so I mean, all normal triangles like this one. Anyway, not relevant. This is interesting because not because it's got two trend lines here that I've had 3 tests, which in and of itself, you know, two how do I say, 2 points on a line right here and right here are enough to draw a line, and a third point is enough to validate a line. Very important stuff to know, and if you didn't know that yet, you're really, really far behind on technicals. So definitely consider jumping inside of the Four Flies VIP group, where we'll give you free access into our Four Flies Academy course. Depending on which plan you take, most people are going to get it, especially because that course is designed to run through all of the beginner things all the way up to, you know, quite difficult and serious topics inside of the markets as well. So regardless of your skill level, you're going to pick something up there. Symmetrical triangle here is not important for the trend line. It's important to represent that on a broader scale on this daily time frame, we've been setting higher lows and lower highs. Very, very important. Generally, when we're setting a pattern of higher lows and lower highs, we're gearing up to do something explosive. I think that definitely could be what we're looking at here. The apex is somewhere around the end of March, so we're still a fair while away, about a month away, but it could definitely turn into something that is quite explosive for the market, and it's worth talking about targets just as a thought exercise, partially because it's fun and partially because it would be I don't want to give too much credit to it, because again, the symmetrical triangle hasn't been drawn very well, not because I didn't draw it well, but because it's just not super clear. But bottom line, it's interesting to see nonetheless, where if we're looking at this move measured to the upside, it's a plus 111% area, which if we break out from roughly around, I don't know, call it 42,000, that gives us a speculative target of $88,000. That's to the upside. Unfortunately, this pattern I would consider to be more bearish. I'm not sure actually. It's almost a 50-50 for me. I couldn't actually put a bias on it. The downside was minus 51%, and if we're looking at that, that puts us at 17,500. Again, I don't want to base too much off this. It's actually pretty weak analysis in my opinion, but the point still stands. Lower highs and higher lows is an indication of explosive price action incoming. It generally just means that the market is coiling up, getting smaller and smaller and smaller with its range. Like it's tightening, it's narrowing up, it's trading in a smaller and smaller, more intricate and scary range before potentially doing something huge. Obviously, it's been quite a while since we've seen a nice bullish breakout. Long term, you guys know I'm super, super bullish. I would love to see a breakout to the upside, but obviously you guys know the deal. I'm not just going to talk about that happening if I don't have good reason to believe it will, because this is not one of those channels. We are all about truth, even when, and especially when it's uncomfortable, because that's when you need it the most. So, short term, I would love to see Bitcoin continue to rise up into this resistance area. I think we're quite likely to see it, but I also think we're quite likely to see a fair bit of resistance at the resistance area. I think that's because there is this pre-existing horizontal area, there's the Ichimoku cloud, there's the EMA ribbon. It's also, I think that just the facts maybe that we have continued the downtrend with this rally up, this double top effectively is what it is. There's a small double top right here, and then a much larger double top right here. See? So we could be continuing this right now, and then this was just a correction to the upside before continuing down. It makes a lot of sense because it forms that classic staircase pattern that I always talk about, where this right here, what's happening in the middle, is potentially this right here. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying it could be the case, right? And if it is, you ought to know that, just in case. We're traders here. We're not fortune tellers. We're not astrologists. We're traders. We're analysts. We're actually, making conscious, smart decisions on the market based off probabilities. That's why we have the best odds of winning compared to everyone else in the market. Fact, straight up fact. So that's my approach right here. That's what I'm seeing. If we drop down, we do have support between 38 and 39, and fortunately, Bitcoin has been able to enjoy that support over the past 1 or 2 days. So I'm kind of optimistic about it. I don't want to put too much hype on this support area, though. I don't think that it's actually super important for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if it collapsed. And if it did collapse, which is to say if we fell anywhere below 38, I would expect us to fall down to at least 36, if not 34. And if we fell that area, again, I'm looking at the low $30,000 range, and I would expect a lot of support to come in around these levels right here. A lot of support. So that's what I'm seeing right here. Interesting spot in the market. a lot of really, really nice trading setups opening up right now, especially because we've seen a lot of volatility to the downside and then to the upside, and now a little bit of stability. That stability allows me to plan my next moves really well. I've already started to share details of what they look like inside of 𝗪𝗪𝗡 VIP. So if you do want to jump inside and watch me trading these markets in real time, then the only way you can join is by clicking on the first link in the description down below, then clicking on the @𝗪𝗪𝗡 button at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗪𝗪𝗡 Gold, and then clicking on send message to enter into a direct chat with me, where you can ask me all about VIP. I'll just send you the information about it, and any questions you have, you can ask me as well. Again, if I don't respond, one of my assistants will. I hope you have enjoyed this video though, and if you have, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. But actually, I've just remembered before I move on, I wanna make a quick word about the two coins that I told you I was interested in, 𝗪𝗪𝗥 and 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥. So these two coins have both tanked, and I think it's primarily going to be because of the volatility with Bitcoin. You know, initially it had a very, very nice run up right here. Well, you can't see 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥's run up because I don't have the chart on Bybit. Here's the real chart for 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥, which, yeah, initially was a really, really nice run up at the very, very beginning. But it was, I don't know, somewhere around here where things got really shit for Bitcoin, and it took the rest of the market with it. Not just 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥, not just 𝗪𝗪𝗥, but the rest of the market as well. And guys, the nature of these coins is that they are, here's 𝗪𝗪𝗥 as well. It's really low compared to where it opened, down to 25 cents. I mean, it's really, really low. But the overwhelming point that I think people are missing with these coins right now, and why I'm absolutely not worried, is that these are small coins. Like these are really small market cap coins right now, and they don't really have, like 𝗪𝗪𝗥, for example, straight up doesn't even have a working product yet. Like it's not even available to the public, and 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥 is only just getting started. For that reason, the only real analysis you can genuinely do on these coins are fundamental. And obviously I did my fundamental analysis. I believe they're extremely strong. That's why we saw initial rallies when the market was good. But when the market starts looking bad, people are going to dump small cap coins a lot faster than they're going to dump coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bitcoin and Ethereum are being dumped a lot faster than the very large markets like the S&P 500 index, right? So this is just generally how it goes, is that it's not necessarily like, see Bitcoin crashing down really hard compared to the S&P 500. By the way, it's atrocious. S&P 500, I think, only lost like 5% since the last 3 months. Bitcoin lost 33% since the last 3 months. I posted that on my Twitter profile, so go follow me there. It's linked down below. That is a key example of how, like, Bitcoin isn't necessarily a bad asset. We're all in agreement there. But because it's a small market compared to a massive index like the S&P 500, it dropped really hard. That's just going to happen in more volatile markets. For me, I'm seeing blood in the streets. I'm seeing people shitting themselves and losing hope. I'm seeing people calling these coins scams the same way people have called Bitcoin a scam and Ethereum a scam. I know they're not scams, so I'm quite optimistic about them, and I've said this before, but if I had more capital, I would be buying coins right now. Not only would I be buying Bitcoin, I probably wouldn't buy Bitcoin right now because it's at like 39,000, but I said this when we were lower down. I'd be buying Bitcoin now, I'd be buying altcoins now, and even these, I don't want to call them micro caps, but these really small altcoins like 𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗥 and 𝗪𝗪𝗥. If you didn't get in and you were interested, this is the price that I guarantee many of you were wishing for. And I'm still looking forward to it. You know, obviously this dump is probably going to keep getting worse for both coins if these markets continue tumbling lower. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm fully expecting it to get worse, but of course the thing to keep in mind with these coins, and Bitcoin for example as well, we see it very clearly with Bitcoin, is that when excitement returns to these markets, it can return really quickly. It might catch you off guard, and that's why, you know, generally what's called dollar cost averaging is a really good approach to entering these markets. And you can Google that term if you're interested. I'll just put it on screen right now so you can type it into Google. Just type in DCA. This is actually also something that we cover in the 𝗪𝗪𝗡 Academy courses, but yeah, right there you go. So yeah, huge sell-off. I'm not denying it, but I think that it's really not that bad. I don't know if I showed the 𝗪𝗪𝗥 chart. Maybe my webcam was obstructing it, but yeah, it's down to 25 cents. They both actually peaked around $2, which is interesting. See, 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙 peaked at like $2.28. Castor peaked at exactly $2. So that was interesting to see. Yeah, these are products that these are projects that are too small to be judging off technicals right now, in my opinion. So judge them off their fundamentals, and if you believe the fundamentals are good and you like buying coins when they're down literally 75%, then good for you, because you've got a sale right now. And very same for Castor, although Castor is down by nearly 90% from its all-time high. Although I don't really want to count this $2 all-time high because it was a crazy wick on launch day. So from its real close price, right here on the daily chart, it closed at $1 and it's now down 75%. Again, if you think these projects are good and you've got a 75% discount from its all-time high, you know, one of the things I've been saying quite consistently about Bitcoin is that, you know, people who generally bought Bitcoin 50% below its all-time high throughout history have done really well. I'm not saying you're going to do well this time. I don't know what the future holds, but it has been every single time, obviously with the exception of right now because we don't have the benefit of hindsight yet. Every single time throughout history, anyone who's ever bought Bitcoin when it dropped down to half of its previous all-time high did really well if they held it in the long term. So just keeping that in mind for you guys right now. This is when people are most scared of buying, so you better believe this is where I'm most interested in buying as well. Always trying to be the wolf in the pack instead of one of the sheep that follow the patterns. You know, when we're moving down like this, when we're moving down and we're having very, very aggressive sell-offs, I'm looking for where I can buy. I might not actually buy, but I'm looking for it, right? And that allows me to always position myself to be against the herd and by extension profit from them, because the herd never actually makes money. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know that, well, not many people have been asking me about these two coins, but I bought a significant chunk of both of them, so it was very important to me. I am completely unfazed by them. I have a lot of certainty that they're going to do well, primarily because I know the team. So, you know, I know exactly what they're doing, and that to me is obviously quite a good point. I think the only scenario where these two coins do badly is if Bitcoin continues to do badly. Like in the long term, if Bitcoin enters a bear market, these two coins are both fucked. I don't see anything optimistic for these two coins if Bitcoin enters a long-term bear market, but I still don't believe that to be the case, and I don't think many of you do either. So there you go. Hope you have enjoyed this one. Once again, make sure you subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. VIP steps on screen right here. Bybit link in the description if you want to get some free cash, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.